Okay guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about the step 2, building an authority business website in minutes. Okay, now the first thing I would like to talk is a little bit more about buying domain and also about buying domain and hosting. You know, in order to create a website, you need to have both domain and hosting, right? Domain is, as you saw in the previous video, domain is where people go to in order to visit your website. But the hosting is where you have your website stored. You know, all the files, like the images, the pages, and the content and all that is stored inside a hosting. But the domain is where people go to in order to visit your website. It's the same like your house, you know? You have your home, and in order for people to go to your home, they need the address. So the address is the same like a domain name. Your home will be like your website, and the land when your home is built, it will be like the hosting, you know? Okay, now that you have this clear, there are two ways where people do about domain hosting is that sometimes people like to buy domains separate than hosting accounts. This is something that you could do, like you could buy your domain in places like namecheap.com or godaddy.com or name.com, and also you could buy your hosting on other places like HostGator or Bluehost or anything. This is something some people do. I really don't know why they do it, but I recommend you do the following. I recommend you purchase your domain and hosting together so you don't have to deal with the connection. You know, sometimes connecting your domain to your hosting sometimes can be some complicated. It depends on what you like to do. So, for example, Namecheap is a good option if you want to buy domain, or also if you want to buy hosting, or also if you want to buy both of them together. Also, HostGator is another good option too, where you can buy both domain and hosting. But also, as something important to consider is that if your domain, the domain you are trying to purchase, is not available in these platforms, then you will need to buy the domain somewhere else and connect it to your hosting. So either way, the most important thing is that you do it. Just buy the domain, just buy the hosting, and just do it. You have to act in order to get going, right? So after you have decided to buy your domain and hosting, it's time to build your website. And for that, I recommend you go with cPanel. You know, cPanel is the most easiest way you can install your website. And also, they have always made it easier. For my example, I'm using HostGator as my hosting account, and they provide with me cPanel. So that's what I'm using, and that's how I'm going to show you how to install your website. So when you register your hosting account, they will send you an email with the login details. And that is how you're going to get into your cPanel, accessing with those login details. Now that you are inside cPanel, I'm going to show you how to get the information you need in order to install your website. Here in Elevate, you go to Website Builder, and here you will see the websites listed, all the websites you have installed. Right now, I'm testing with a brand new account, guys, so you can make sure everything is working fine. And here, I just need to click on the Build New Website, and this is the information I need to include or to type here inside Elevate so you can install our website. Now, we are not going to install any website, guys. We are going to install a pro website, a website where you are going to be able to install 10 different websites for 10 different businesses. But right now, I'm focusing on building a digital marketing agency which you can use for yourself or you can sell to others too. So the possibilities are limitless, guys. We are handing you something really, really good. Like we are going to install a premium theme, a theme which you will have to pay like $59 for yourself, in order to install it yourself. We are not going to install a free theme. You know, WordPress have thousands of free themes. Well, we are not going to install that for you. We are going to install, in this same installment, we are going to install a premium WordPress theme, which you are going to do wonders with it, and we will show you why. Okay, right now I'm going to show you how you can get the information to place here in the website builder. Okay guys, this process is really easy to handle if you follow exactly the steps I'm going to show you. There are 4 different types of information you need to include here, or you need to type here inside the website builder. The first set is about the website information, like the title and the website domain. The second set of data you need to add here is the FTP information. The third one is the database information, and the fourth one is the login information. Okay, now let's start with this. First, you need to add your website title. Let's put it Digital Marketing Agency, like an example. And here you will include the website domain. This will be the domain that you purchase, and you will include it without the HTTP information. Okay, here we are in my cPanel dashboard, and the first thing I need to go to know which is domain I'm going to use, I'm going to go to the File Manager. Okay, guys, if you are new to this and you have a brand new hosting account, then you will only see a few folders here. For example, you will see this one here, public HTML. If you are planning to install this in the domain you just purchased, then most probably you're going to use this as this information in your installment. Okay, now the first thing you need to do is add your domain. For example, this is my primary domain. If you're installing this website in your primary domain, then you just need to copy this domain and paste it here. But what I'm doing right now is I will have to show you some other ways. Why? Because this is something you might be installing not only in your website or in your hosting, but also you might be installing in your client's hosting accounts. So that's why I would like to show you other ways to install, not only to your main domain or primary domain, but also to other domains. For example, here in my hosting account, you know, I have the ability to add other domains. For example, add-on domains. This is how you add additional domains, not only one, which is your main domain, which the one you purchase your hosting account, but also you can add more domains to purchase. For example, here I added 3 different domains to this hosting account, and not only the primary domain, which is the one you saw here. This is my primary domain right here, right? But also I have other domains I purchase and I add them here as an add-on domain. My plan is to install this website as a test here in the Commission Victory domain. This is my plan to install in this domain, right? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do is just add this domain here. Okay, great. And I'm not going to use the HTTP thing in here. I just only add the naked domain. That's all I will add here. Okay, now you know what is the domain, the website domain you are going to install your website, right? Okay, let's continue. Something else I would like to mention to you that you can also install this on subdomains. For example, if you don't want to use a domain, but you want to install it in a subdomain, you can do so too. Here, you create your subdomain, and then you copy your subdomain and add it here in the subdomain. Okay, now we are clear with that. Now let's go for the FTP information. Okay, for the FTP information for the host, what you do here is to add the domain you plan to install. And here in the FTP port, it usually is 21. If for some reason it is not like that, or the installation doesn't work, maybe your FTP port is different, and you will need to confirm that with your hosting account, with your hosting service provider. For The majority of the time is 21. It's important you know that. Okay, now let's see about the FTP path. For the FTP path, here, this is where I will install my website, right? This is the domain I will install. So here, I will also use my domain. There is a slash here, and I added here. This is how I decide where, in which domain I will install it. That will be the FTP path. For example, if you want to install it in the primary domain, which in my case is this one right here, my primary domain is this. The primary domain of the hosting account is this, jonesmarketingblueprint.com, but I don't want to install it there. I want to install it in this domain, in the add-on domain, which is Commission Victory. But if I want to install it here I will put this public HTML and add it like this. This is if I want to install in the primary domain. And once I install it, the website will get here in this place, But I already have a website installed here, and I cannot do that. So it is really, really important you understand what you put here, because it can override anything you have in there. So you have to be really careful on what you put in here. Okay, now I would like to show you something important. Like here is where I will install my website, right? And this should be empty. As you see, this is a brand new domain I added as an add-on domain, and this folder should be empty because anything is there, it will be overwritten. There should not be any website in there. This is a folder where I will show the website. I will add it here. You see? That's how it works. Okay, now let's see. The following information is this one. When you go to log in into the cPanel, you have a username and a password. Okay, that is the username and password you can use. The same information you use to log in into your hosting account is the same information you can use here too. But also, if you want to use any other information, you can go to the FTP section here in your hosting provider, FTP accounts, and you can create new information here in order to log in and also decide where to store the information. So this is just a different way to do it. But what I recommend you do here is to use the username and password you use to log in into your hosting account. And also something important I would like to share with you is that we do not store this information in our database. The website title and the website domain is used in order for you to identify in the website builder list the sites you have installed. The FTP hosting and all the FTP information is also used only to access and to install your website, as well as the database information. And the login information is also used to give it to you so you can be able to log into that website. But we do not store any of this information in our database. So it is important you know that we do not save that information here. Okay, now I have it. I'm now done with the FTP part. Now let's go for the database part. Okay, for the database host, what is normally here is localhost, or also could be your domain name. Any of them work. If it's something different, if you try to do the installation and there is something wrong with the database host, then you will need to ask your service provider, your hosting service provider, to see which is your database host. But normally is localhost. And the same with the database port. Also, that's why we'll leave it here as default, because that's what is normal. And if it's not like that, then you need to submit that information, which is the correct one for your hosting account. Okay, now let's go for the database name. Now we need to do something really important here in your cPanel account, and that is to create a database. For that, go to my SQL databases, and here you are going to create a new database. here we advise you put elevate or something short, and then click on create database. Okay, for a database name, I'm done. Let's copy it and paste it here. Now, something I also recommend you do is to create another file like this. Why? Because as I mentioned, we do not store this information in our database. So for any reason the installation failed, then you will need to submit again the information. So if you have the information here at hand, or for any reason your computer shut down or the internet went off or whatever reason, as we do not store this information, you need to have it here and save it. So for any error going on in the installation, you can use it right away and avoid doing all the process again. Okay, we are done here with the database name. Now let's go for the database username. For that, click on go back. And right here, you see the current databases, but here you see the MySQL users. Let's call it the same, elevate, but here you will add a password. Let's generate this password here. Let's copy it. Let's save it also in our here, database password. Well, this one you can just add it right away here too. Here what says database password, but also remember to save it here just in case the installation failed. Okay, and here say I have copied this password in a safe place and use password and click on create user. Okay, the user has it created, just copy it here and add it here, database username. And the password you already added. So let's add my information here too, just in case. Sorry, here and here. Here is localhost. And the port, we already know it's the one here. It's by default. Okay, now we are done with the database information. And the easy part too here is the email. This will be the WordPress email you use to log in. And also an admin and also a password. You can put whatever you want here. Okay, we are 99% done here, guys. Now there is one last thing you need to do and add this IP address to your remote MySQL. And this is extremely simple to do, guys. Just copy it here, go back to the database. Okay, something else I forgot here. You need to go back here and you need to connect your database to your user. How do you do that? You go down and here you select the user, you select the database, and then you click on add. And then you check all privileges and then you click on save and make changes. And that's all. You are done connecting your username to the database. This is something really important I forgot. Okay, now go back here. And here you go again to your cPanel dashboard. And now you will go to remote MySQL. And here you will add this API you see here. I already added, as you see it here, I just already added. It is easier to add it. I will just delete it so you can see it. It is easy. You just need to add the API here and just click on add host. And that's all. That's all you need to do. It's just to make more security connection between Elevate and your MySQL. That's all, guys. You are ready to rock here. No. So now let's go to Elevate and let's click on proceed. Okay, and the installation is running. Let's wait a little bit more to see if there is any error. Okay, great guys. As you can see, when you see this storing information, it means everything works just fine. Everything is doing good. So now you can go back and you can go to this folder right here and you will see the documents which are getting installed on your server. You can just refresh and you will see how this information is getting into your server. You see right now it's getting you see the content folder is getting filled up. It is installing the content folder, which is this one here. You can just refresh and the installation will be done by itself. Now guys, if you stop the installation, you cannot stop the installation. It is doing it right now. For any reason, if the internet goes down, if you close the page or anything like that, even the installation will keep going. That's something really nice. It will take some minutes to do this, but we are doing a lot of things right now. We are installing WordPress, a really clean installation. There is not a bunch of plugins in anything like that. We are installing a pro theme right there where you can install 10 different themes for 10 different businesses, and that's something done on complete autopilot for you guys. And also at the beginning, maybe it can be some complicated for you, like you have to go inside cPanel, you have to go to look for this and to build a database and all that. It can seem too complicated, but once you know how to do it, it will be really quick for you to do that, guys. So don't worry about it. And also, you need to learn how to do this because you will be doing it for yourself, but not only for you, but also you can do it for others, and you can charge for them to do this. We are doing something really nice, really interesting that you can use and you can market it and do it as many times as you want. It depends. If you paid for the Elevate basic access, you can only install up to 5 websites. But if you paid for the unlimited, you can do this for as many sites as you want. And you will see right now, after the installation is done, you will take a look at the theme and all the awesome demos you can install, and also the websites you can install for other businesses. So guys, we are really excited about this, and also we hope you enjoy it. And also remember, if you have any problem with this, just let us know. But if anything goes wrong, it probably is because you put something wrong in there. But it is important you understand and you know exactly the data you put inside the Elevate dashboard. So guys, thank you very much for this, and I will see you in the next video to show you some other awesome things you can do with the theme. So see you guys there.